It's time for the best coverage of high school football in the Valley. This is the Best Local Sports Show with sports director Blake Arthur and sports reporter Kenji Ito.
What a slate of high school football, a jam-packed schedule of games here in week 2 of the season, headlined by Palm Springs in their unusual home opener. We'll see if the Indians could get their first win of the year despite facing some adversity. Plus, a number of other big games this week, including our first look at local powerhouse Palm Desert. The Aztecs go for their first win of the season. It's week 2 of high school football on the Best Local Sports Show, and it starts right now.
You're watching the Best Local Sports Show! Go Indians!
You're watching the Best Local Sports Show.
Rico thinks he's slick, huh? Got to get hyped, though. Welcome into the Week 2 edition of the Best Local Sports Show. I'm sports director Blake Arthur. Kenji Ito will join the show here in a bit. Look, we have a ton of games on tap this week, and we start with Palm Springs making their home debut. Well, sort of. As we reported earlier this week, the Indians are being forced to play their home games at Rancho Mirage High School for the time being, since their stadium, Ralph Watts Stadium, is under maintenance after a water line broke and caused significant damage to the stadium. Tribe taking on Grand Terrace from Riverside at Jerry Argovitz Stadium at Rancho Mirage High School. GT would drive it down and score first. Good run up the middle by them, so Palm Springs facing an early deficit, down but definitely not out. The Indians always a well-coached ball club, and the Tribe offense would start cooking. Koa Rapolo, he's a football player, hard-nosed guy, runs it in off the right side. Palm Springs on the scoreboard. First touchdown of the game. More Palm Springs. Bishop Miller rolls right, says, hey, go deep. Got his guy. That's Rodney Miker in the end zone. Indians looking good on offense. They take the lead, but not done just yet. More of the offense. Miller, this time to Sean Mesa, gets the ball, does Mesa and does some work, breaks a tackle. He's into the end zone for the score. Palm Springs picks up their first win of the year, 33-21 over Grand Terrace. Indians get it done despite not being able to play in their home stadium. Congratulations to them. I know it's been a tough week for the school, administration, the football team, of course, so heck of a win for Palm Springs, facing adversity and getting that victory. Palm Desert making their home debut this week, taking on Central. The Aztecs were shut out at Brawley in week 1, so looking to get their first win of the year. And look, not too long ago, this Aztec program that would win just about every game they played. Connor Orfield at quarterback throws a dime to Rylan Risk, and Risk is gone for the touchdown. One of the best athletes in the Valley. Palm Desert ties the game at 7. Student section loving it. The Aztec Army in beach thing, but no time to relax for the Aztecs offense. Back on the field, screenplay has some potential, but Central, nice defensive play to stop it, and then they would score to take the 14-7 lead. Palm Desert falls in their home opener as the Aztecs are now 0-2 to start the season. We'll see how they respond next week at Elsinore on Thursday. Shadow Hills at home against Palo Verde Valley following their week 1 win over Indio in the Mayor's Cup. First quarter, big play from Shadow. Pedro Trujillo gets it to Jojo Diaz, and Jojo goes to work, makes a couple moves, gets up the field. Chunk play for the Knights that put them in scoring territory. In the red zone now, Trujillo. Pitch option to the right, gives it to Diaz, who gets in for the score. Shadow on the board first, 7-0 Knights. Love the old school option play as a Nebraska Cornhusker fan, so well done from the Knights. In the second, Trujillo in the shotgun, steps up, finds Shaheem Sama, who gets a big gain for the Shadow Hills offense. Sama, nice catch there. Knights keep moving the football, and more Shadow. Trujillo back in the gun again, plenty of time to pass. Throws a dart to Brandon Peppers. Peppers into the end zone. 14-0 Knights. They would roll from there. They pour it on. 28-0 shutout for Shadow Hills. The purple and black are 2-0 to start the season. Knights looking good so far. We'll see if they can keep it rolling next week. Hey, we're going to keep it rolling with our show. We're just getting started. Coming up, Desert Hot Springs and Cathedral City, we're both on the road. We're going to see if the Golden Eagles and Lions could both start the year at 2-0. Plus, Xavier Prep back on the field after a dangerous situation in week one, losing to Coachella Valley and losing a couple players to injury. See how the Saints respond at home against LaSalle out of Pasadena. You're watching week 2 high school football on the Best Local Sports Show.
You all right?
Yes, sir. All right, bro.
Finna get it. We finna get it today. Hey, we finna prove a point.
It's hunting season.
You're watching the best local sports show.
That's the wolf hunter, baby. Tell him I told him, baby.
Love the Wolf Hunter. The howl is awesome. Welcome back to the Best Local Sports Show, week 2 of high school football here in the Coachella Valley. Last week, we witnessed a dangerous situation in Xavier Prep's loss to Coachella Valley. The score became secondary after 2 Saints players were injured, one having to be airlifted from the game. Another was taken off in an ambulance. As we reported, both players, quarterback King Pelham and running back Anderson Acosta, are expected to make a full recovery. Saints hosting LaSalle. Was great to see King at the game, supporting his guys, obviously not playing, but there, and showing some love for his teammates who played well. TJ Bosley on the punt return, gets some blocks on the right side, and he is gone up the sideline. Saints were shut out last week, but they scored before their offense even takes the field this week. Sidelines fired up. Coach Carl's going bananas on the sideline. And there is Bosley embracing with his head coach James Dockery. Xavier in front 7-0. Bosley not done. Huge game for him. 3 touchdowns. Heck of a catch there for the big gainer. First down for the Saints, setting up another score. They go to their quarterback, Joe Berry. Quarterback sneak, push the pile. Xavier's got a 2-touchdown lead behind Berry at quarterback. Wasn't all offense for the black and gold. Daniel Comby off the edge, bringing the pressure, gets the strip sack. And then Daniel Schneider, number 56, scoops the rock. Great team defense from the Saints there. And Schneider's like, yeah, I got the football. Come on. That puts Xavier's offense back on the field. The Joe Show. Look at Berry avoiding the rush. He's got a man downfield, a wide open Tyler Daft. The senior takes that in easily for another Saints score. Xavier Prep, they roll big. They get their first win of the year over LaSalle of Pasadena. Nice bounce back victory for the Saints after all that happened last week. So Xavier Prep in the win column, 1-1 on the season. Hey, gas up the bus. Let's hit the road. Desert Hot Springs taking on Harupa Valley out by Oak Quarry Golf Club. For all my golfers out there, love the game. Ozias Crawford, 53-yard touchdown run. He had a huge game in week 1, doing some more damage in week 2. So Desert Hot Springs, after the extra point miss, would be trailing by 1-7-6. This was a low-scoring game. Fourth quarter, about 2 minutes left in the game. Hot Springs. Golden Eagles, DHS, Donovan Thornton. Gonna break out of the pile. Where is he? There he is. He's in the end zone. That's a game-winning touchdown. Desert Hot Springs wins a close one. Get this, despite having 4 turnovers and 2 touchdowns called back, huge win for Desert Hot Springs on the road, 14-7. The Golden Eagles with a nice start to the season at 2-0. Shout out to head coach Roy Provost. He does a great job with that team. Desert Hot Springs was one of the best stories all last year, and they're picking up right where they left off, starting the year at 2-0. Cathedral City also on the road. Lions in San Bernardino looking to get to 2-0. The Cardinal City, they call it. San Bernardino was heavy on the ground game. Touchdown here would give them the 21-14 lead. So the Lions down 7 and needing to make a big play, and they do so defensively. San Bernardino on the move, but the pitch gets away, and number 78, Tim Riategui. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. If not, I apologize, Tim, but heck of a play. You're on the show. Scoops it up, takes it for a big return deep into Cathedral City offensive territory. Cathedral City looking for points before halftime, but they were unable to convert on 4th down as Cathedral City loses on the road 28-20. Close game, but the Lions fall to 1-1 on the year. All right, let's go now to our scoreboard. Yucca Valley versus Rancho Christian. High scoring affair on the high desert. Wish we were able to make it up there for that game to see the Trojans and Rancho Christian. Unfortunately, not able to make it. And Yucca Valley falls in dramatic fashion, or so it would seem, 44-41. The final. Trojans are 1-1 on the year. Desert Christian Academy, they were home against Riverside Prep. Conquerors got the home win, 27-20 over Riverside Prep. They're going to take on Desert Mirage next week in an all-local matchup, so looking forward to that. Throwback Thursday. We had 4 local games on Thursday this week coming up. We'll take a look back and show you those highlights. Plus, Week 2 of Blake's Best. If you missed it in Week 1, well, got to stick around for Week 2. What is it? Hang on and find out. You're watching high school football, Week 2 edition of the Best Local Sports Show.
You're watching the best local sports show.
You're watching the best local sports show.
News Channel 3, the Desert Sport Leader. We're Indio Police.
Go Rogers!
Welcome back to the Best Local Sports Show, Week 2 of high school football. Look, as we've seen over the recent years, Thursday games are becoming a regular thing. It's kind of like us covering the games. Referees can only be at one place at one time, meaning the games are having to be played on Thursdays and even Saturdays, which we'll get to in just a second, to accommodate all of the teams. We had a few Thursday games this week, 4 in fact, headlined by La Quinta making their season debut at home against Heritage, and the Blackhawks balled out in their opener. LQ quarterback Roman Ansley tossed 3 touchdowns, all of them to Peyton Reynolds. And the ground game solid as usual, as we're used to seeing from a La Quinta football team. Physical up front. They got some hard running backs. Aiden Buga and Sebastian Osorio, a solid 1-2 punch for LQ. They rolled big, 42-8 over Heritage. La Quinta on the road next week at Rancho Verde. As for the other 3 games on Thursday, Indio, Desert Mirage, 29 Palms, all lost at home. Hemet handled Indio 45-13. Raja's now 0-2. Calipatria ran wild over Desert Mirage 65-12. Rams are 1-1. And Canyon Springs controlled 29 Palms 40-22 in the Wildcats' season debut. So that was Thursday, but we are also seeing games scheduled for Saturday, like we have this week. An all-local clash between Coachella Valley and Rancho Mirage. 2 of the top teams in the area squaring off in a early season showdown. News Channel 3 sports reporter Kenji Ito will be covering that game. He joins me live in studio now with more ahead of what is a highly anticipated matchup between the Arabs and Rattlers.
Yeah, Blake, thank you. I'm really looking forward to this game, which is tomorrow, which has the makings to be one of the best of the year. The defending undefeated DEL champion Rancho Mirage and Coachella Valley, who's won 4 of the last 6 DVL titles. For CV, they're coming off a 27-0 win over Xavier Prep. And here in Week 2, the Arabs face another DEL opponent with a chance to show that they could be the best team in the Valley, so their schedule is not getting any easier. As for Rancho Mirage, they're coming off a Week 1 loss in Hawaii. The Rattlers were shut out 42-0 against Farrington on the island of Oahu. But now they're back home with a big game and a big opportunity.
The speed and the size that we competed against last week was something we haven't seen in a while, so it was a great experience for our guys. We're healthy. We're a little bit tired from the trip, trying to get our legs back, but we know we have a huge task ahead of us with CV. They're one of the best programs in the Valley. Got great coaching staff and very talented athletes on their side, so we're going to have our hands full, but we're excited with the opportunity.
And get your popcorn ready, because I would say this is going to be no less than a movie, and this should be a fun game, which kicks off Saturday at 7 at Rancho Mirage High School. I'll be sure to have the coverage then. Blake?
Kenji, thank you so much. Going to have that game and also a full slate of college football. It is an exciting time to be in the sports department. A lot of football, and we love it, no doubt about that. All right, time for Blake's Best. It's a new wrinkle this year, kind of whatever stood out to me, something I noticed at the games. And Blake's Best for this week, King Pelham back on his feet, supporting his teammates. Xavier Prep quarterback, obviously not playing tonight, but he was airlifted in last week's game, so great to see him back on the sideline supporting his teammates. King Pelham, Xavier Prep, that is Blake's Best for Week 2 of high school football on the Best Local Sports Show. Don't forget our plays of the week. You can vote online on our website all weekend long. KESQ.com will reveal the winner every Monday, so go vote for your favorite play of the week. We had a lot of them this week, so be sure to check that out. That's going to do it for Week 2 of high school football on the Best Local Sports Show. See you next week.